make sure that the thoughts that are in your brain are constructive ones and ones that you are choosing to put there because they build you up rather than break you down. In today's busy world, how can we find the inspiration, knowledge, and energy to live a healthy and empowered life? If we balance and harmonize our mind, exercise our body, live according to the laws of nature, and connect to spirit, can we find a way to heal, become our authentic self, and live our purpose with love? I am your hostess, Amy Fournier, and welcome back to Awakening Aphrodite. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to Awakening Aphrodite with Amy Fournier. I'm so glad you're here. This episode I've been wanting to do for so long because it's part 9 of my 10-part series that I'm giving to you for free based on one of my latest ebooks, Foundations in Fitness Fat Loss Guide, where I give my 10 top lifestyle tips that you need to make sure you include if you really want to be fit and healthy on the inside and outside, how to make it a lifestyle, what to pay attention to, and the things you don't have to worry about so you get results and you keep them. That's what that ebook is about, and that's what this 10-part series on my show is about. Remember, you can watch the show on YouTube at Fit Amy TV. I'm also on TikTok now. Yeehaw, we're moving up. Yep, we're on TikTok just under Awakening Aphrodite. And of course, everywhere you can find podcasts, you can find Awakening Aphrodite. And thank you so much for leaving reviews on iTunes for that matter. And I need to put a huge shout out to my good friend Mercedes, who left a review on iTunes for me. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful and appreciative. She writes, Amy shares her wisdom and knowledge. She inspires and motivates you to want to better yourself. Lots to learn from this podcast. It will keep you coming back for more. Thanks, Amy. Thank you, Mercedes. I really appreciate it. Your reviews are your way of kind of giving back to me if you got anything out of the show. And you know our girl Aphrodite is all about relationships. She is the goddess of relationships. Not only how we relate to ourselves, but also to others, the world around us, things that happen to us. So she's a big reason why I named the show that, because she deals with relationships, and you know what? Life is all about relationships. So this episode, we get into tip 9. We only have one more to go, and it is, you ready? Drum roll. I'm going to have to get some special effects somewhere, but drum roll. The topic is build your healthy mindset and be aware of your self-talk. So we're going to get into mindset, which is a critical component of health and fitness and happiness. I like to think of our thoughts and our beliefs and the way we talk to ourselves and what we think and what we choose to believe or not believe as true as nutrition, as ingredients, as in the type of food for your mind. So you have to pay attention to that intake just as you do the physical matter of food that you take into your physical body, like eating salads and free-range meats and organic eggs and all those wonderful things, and drinking enough water. Well, your thoughts, your self-talk, your beliefs are the food for the mind. So we must include them because they will make or break you if you haven't figured that out by now. So, all right, let's get right into Foundations in Fitness, number 9, building your healthy mindset. Be aware of your self-talk. It's just such a big one for many of us, and I like to refer to it as mental fitness. Our minds can either be a powerful tool to help us connect, to learn, grow, evolve, and get fit, or they can be an extremely destructive liability and a major hang-up in our success and our happiness. So, yeah, you know that old saying, the mind is a terrible thing to waste? Well, it can either be a friend or a foe. The trick is to learn how to use it to work in your favor rather than against you. Awareness of how we think and how we talk to ourselves is really the first step to training your mind, if you will. It's similar to the way you train your body. So it's really a good concept to wrap your brain around, that I need to actually train my brain how to think certain ways until they become habitual. Just like you train your body by forming habits or, working towards a goal. Let's just take running, for example. You might not be able to run even 200, 400 feet your first day running, but you train, right? Each time you have a strategy as, okay, I'm going to run on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and I'm going to start with 15 minutes, even if I have to stop and jog a little bit in between. And the next thing you know, after 2 weeks, I don't have to stop and jog as much. I can then run for 18 minutes straight without stopping, and you progressively train your body. Well, your brain is the same way. You might be stuck in what they say is stinking thinking, that many of us get into these repetitive negative loops about ourselves, and we need to break that habit immediately. And how do you do it? You just start doing it. Every time you find yourself saying something negative about yourself, stop and say, you know what? I'm no longer going to say or think or subscribe to those ideas anymore. Now, the new me chooses to think this instead. Okay? For example, oh my gosh, I'm so out of shape. This is never going to work. Why do I even bother? I'm getting older. It's all useless anyway. No. Rather than that, you can say, okay, I might have a long way to go, and I might have lost some traction as to how fit I used to be, or I might look differently than I used to look. But today's a new day. Today I'm alive. It's the next day of my life, and I choose to now focus on doing the things I can do. And if it means I only start by doing 10 minutes of a Zumba class because that's all I can get through cardiovascularly or whatever, even time, that I'm going to start with that. Because where there's life, there's hope. And you can always start. And like I always say, something is better than nothing. Anything is better than nothing. 10 minutes of Zumba is better than no minutes of Zumba. 5 minutes of stretching is better than no stretching, right? One positive thought, like, I can do this. I'm going to try. Today's a new day. Yesterday's gone. There's no time like the present. All these type of positive programming is, again, mental ingredients, mental nutrition for your brain, body, spirit. Most importantly, your spirit, because you must always have hope, and you must always keep yourself energetically and spiritually optimistic, if you will. Believing things will get better, believing you can do it, believing it's worth it, believing that it might be hard, it might suck right now, I might not like myself too much, I might be upset about certain things maybe that I've made, bad choices I've made, but I now take sovereignty of my own life, I now take responsibility and take my power back, and I choose to now move toward this thing I want instead. Okay, so that's a big part of this whole picture of, again, building a healthy mindset and training your mind and controlling the tape that you have in your brain of how you talk to yourself. Because, again, it's going to make or break you. I guarantee it. So it's just amazing and sad how much of our self-talk is negative. And it's the same self-talk we had a week ago or even months or a year ago, right? We repeat these same negative things, and it gets very dangerous when we start identifying with negative stuff about ourselves. Remember, there's a difference between making a bad choice and being a bad person. I think that's very, very important. I'm going to repeat that. And join in with me, if you will. There's a difference between making a bad choice and being a bad person. The first one is an action of a behavior you're identifying with, whereas the second one is you're bringing it into your self-concept, as in, this is part of who I am. No, I reject that. That situation that might have been a bad choice is not who I am. Who I am is this person, even if it's something you are aspiring to, okay? That's that belief in your soul and that goodness, that love, that truth, that strength, that power, that part of you that wants so desperately to live and be expressed. And it's in all of us. I do believe that deeply. So hang on to that, even if it's by a thread. And be very, very prudent of what you accept as part of, quote unquote, who you are and your personality. And it's just how I am. And we have to be very careful of those type of labels, because they can be self-fulfilling prophecies, not only for ourselves, but for other people. So how you identify as an, oh, I'm not a person who exercises, or I'm not a person who, likes to eat healthy or whatever. Or you could even say, well, a great example is something like if somebody offers you a cigarette, you might say what? Oh, no, thank you. I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker, right? So you're identifying as a non-smoker. That's very powerful, right? As opposed to, oh, I'm having a really hard time saying no to the cigarette. It's very tempting. I really want it, but I shouldn't. And you're dealing with all these willpower, effort things, because it's a struggle, because you possibly could identify as a smoker. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if you're not even, that's not even who I am, it's a no-brainer. It doesn't take any effort to turn something away. So how we identify as in who we are, this is the person I really am, makes life a lot easier, okay? So unfortunately, a lot of our self-talk is very negative. We berate ourselves. We speak about ourselves like we wouldn't ever speak about another person, right? We're really mean to ourselves. It's so sad. And our brains can be stuck on repeat. And we're not even aware of how negative and destructive our thoughts can be. And again, it's like, think of, would you speak to a little child or your best friend or someone you care about the way you speak to yourself sometimes, right? It's just, we can just be so darn right mean. And my goodness, talk about just dampening your soul and taking the wind out of your own sails. We have to really start being our own best friends and treating ourselves with the love and compassion and encouragement that we would with a little child or someone we deeply love. So this is absolutely critical in order to change anything in your life. And if you want real and lasting success and happiness, it's absolutely vital to address your self-talk in order to properly care for yourself and to love your body and to keep your spirit high and functional. So trust me, I've really learned the hard way that you can't ignore, biohack, or otherwise attempt to get around the mental, emotional component of yourself, especially if you want to keep health and fitness in the long term. So think of your mind like a computer program of your body, and the thoughts that you have is the software that you're putting into the computer. Okay? So there's just an easy analogy for you, is that, there's a saying in the IT world that junk in equals junk out. Same like your diet, right? Well, your thoughts are the same way. So we have to be very, very aware, and that's another code word for conscious, not just going on automatic pilot with the thoughts or the input, the software that we're programming into our minds every day. And then make a conscious decision to live in a way that we are constantly de-weeding that garden of our mind, if you will, and any negative thoughts that we might have, just like you would debug a computer. Okay, is that it's just, yes, it's going to take effort. Yes, it's going to take consciousness in order to make sure that the thoughts that are in your brain are constructive ones and ones that you are choosing to put there because they build you up rather than break you down. Again, are they encouraging? Are they loving? Are they compassionate? Okay, are they honest? So once this is done, you can take the final step of then consciously adding in, like I said, those positive programming thoughts with the good software that you want, thoughts that will help you thrive instead of beating yourself up, scaring yourself to death, or otherwise limiting your potential. Please don't underestimate the power of this important habit. Believe me, trust me, it will be life-changing. And wow, so simple and free. So I bet you're wondering, well, what are some good thoughts I could have? Okay, well, let me share some with you. I'm glad you asked. I'm going to give you an example of some powerful and effective mind and spirit strengthening antivirus software that you can put into your life right now. Okay, ready? Here we go. So, I'm doing better every day. Sure, I might have a way to go, but I'm making steps in the right direction. I love who I am and I accept myself, faults and all. I know I'm a good person and I'm open to change. Life loves me and always has my back. I believe in a higher good that always wants what's best for everyone. I lovingly take care of my body. I feed myself healthy foods so I can feel good and look good. I love to move and exercise my body, and I know the proper amount of rest to activity to do what's best for my energy level and my needs. I love life, and I'm open to the day and what it has to bring me, and I will make sure that I see and am aware of all the pieces of evidence that life is trying to show me where to go, who to be with, how to think, and all the beautiful gifts and treasures that it's trying to give to me. So I hope that those are just off the top of my head, as if you couldn't tell. But those are just some things that sometimes I repeat to myself, things like that, particularly when I'm walking Charlotte out in nature by ourselves, which is one of my favorite things to do. Is I will literally just say out loud, and there is power in saying them out loud, by the way, as opposed to just in your head. There's a lot of power, and we won't get into that to get sidetracked, but in the spoken word is a lot more powerful, not only energetically, as far as frequency with the vibration that you're creating, but getting it out into the world is more powerful than thinking it in your mind. So if you're in a situation maybe where you can't really speak out loud because everyone's going to think you're a Looney Tune, then maybe even just say it softly under your breath. Do your best. But again, what I do is when I'm on a walk alone sometimes with Charlotte, I will say these things out loud. I'll turn off my headphones. I'm usually listening to an audiobook or learning something, or I might be talking to a friend, and I'll just stop and I will say some things out loud, and I will take a breath and look around and just be like, wow, what a beautiful tree. Thank you, tree. Has anyone thanked you today for being here and cleaning our air and giving us shade and giving us beauty? Because, green is the color of the heart chakra, which is the fourth chakra around the chest and the lungs. And green is the energy of love. So I thank the trees, and I thank life for the day, and I thank life for the beautiful fresh air and the ability to walk. The ability not only physically that my body can walk, because there's lots of people who can't, but also the ability to be able to be taking a walk at that time, because there's a lot of people stuck in situations where they would love to be taking a walk at that moment, but they're doing something they probably have to do, don't want to do, etc. So I hope I'm just giving you ideas of these things don't have to be rocket science. They don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be fancy. But you know what they do have to do? They have to come from the heart. They have to really come from you. And if you have trouble tapping into that, then what I always say to people is just close your eyes. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and that helps you go within. And you can even visualize your chest, your heart center, and visualize it just opening and softening. And as soon as that happens, your whole vibe changes, your whole energy, your frequency changes, and it will help you get in touch with that love that is your essence, that is inside you. And that's something you can remember in general, for that matter. But if you're having trouble finding positive thoughts and positive affirmations, that's a great way to do it, is just close your eyes, take a deep breath, drop your awareness into your chest, into your heart. Feel it soften, feel it open, and then maybe just say whatever comes out of your mouth. It doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering or fancy. It can be just, okay, I'm open to love. I'm open to loving more. I'm open to seeing love in the world more. I'm opening to allow myself to receive love more. I'm open to giving love more instead of judgment or closing myself off. And just start with that. See how simple it is? And watch how it changes how you feel. Will you let me know? I would love to learn if you try that and then it helps you in some way. Or if it doesn't, I'm definitely open to constructive criticism, of course. Okay? Because that's the only way all of us get better. If it's said with love, then I will receive it. All right, so here's some other great ways to program your mind so you have healthy, constructive self-talk. Reading spiritual and inspirational books in the morning, first thing, or before bed, or whenever you can for that matter. But most people get most benefit out of reading spiritual things and inspirational things in the morning as a way to start their day, or as a way to program their brain before they go to sleep and enter the subconscious. Okay, it's a great way to program your brain for really cool dreams. So it's like the first thing that happens in the day and the last thing that happens in the day is kind of like you bookend the day with positivity and things that inspire your soul. Brilliant. I love that idea. Okay. Also, another idea is to write, journal, or even write poetry. And one of the shows, we had a wonderful guest, Ari Hanavar, and she is a poet. We talk about ways to start your own poetry. Again, doesn't have to be fancy. Why do we do this to ourselves? I can't do it. I'm not a poet. I can't paint. I'm not an artist. Who cares? And you're certainly not going to ever become one if you don't just start and give yourself permission to suck, right? You got to give yourself permission to be really bad at something in order to be good at it, okay? And you got to get that ego out of the way, and who cares what it looks like or others think about it? It's about you and about you growing and having your own back and being okay with disapproval of others judging you and maybe making fun of you, because someday you're going to be good at it, and then we'll see who's laughing. All right. Also, taking gentle restorative yoga classes like my yin yoga, restorative yoga that I have in our on-demand library, or any yoga classes for that matter. It's a great way to program your body and your brain to get in touch with itself and release that stress and tension and allow the good energy to come in. Taking naps. Taking naps is a very underrated, important activity in my professional opinion, okay? I love naps. I don't usually get to nap that much, but I love to nap. Definitely on the beach in a hot day, for sure, okay? Allowing yourself to have downtime and, okay, get ready for this. Do nothing. When was the last time you did nothing? Okay. Full disclosure, I really stink at that. I'm really, really bad at doing nothing. I need to take my own advice on this one. I definitely allow myself to have downtime, though. So I'm getting there. That's progress. I never even used to do that. I was always on, always being productive, always, getting stuff done, on to the next thing, until eventually my head just hit the pillow and I zonked out of exhaustion. But now at least I do have downtime, which I love so much, and it's such an important part of filling the tank and being able to be 100%. You're always going to be like meandering around the middle ground of like ness unless you are able to fully turn it off. You can't fully turn it on either. So next time you feel a little bit like, dragging, or, you're looking for that second cup of coffee or whatever it may be, consider your lifestyle and your pace of living. If you are balancing and undulating the pace of your days, of your weeks, of your months, of your years with the energy flow and go, right? You want both. It's like a wave. And really the skilled person at life, if there is such a thing, is one that has learned their own biorhythms and the best way to ride that ebb and flow of waves. Okay, some people love guided meditation or just regular meditation. That can be another great way to program your brain with good software. Practicing Tai Chi is one of my personal favorites and one that I've been doing for almost 2 years now, every single day, even if it's just for a few minutes, because it's a commitment I've made to myself and my soul and my spirit, and because it's helped me so much, right? You want to keep doing something that has results, and you certainly can't argue with results, because I feel differently after I do my Tai Chi, because I do it outside, barefoot, on the ground, in nature, by myself, breathing with fresh, clean air. And it's my time to tap into myself and de-stress and program myself for how I want to be that day. And also allow my soul and universe to speak to me, allowing God and my understanding to come into my heart and soul. I give it space in my morning Tai Chi. So it's very, very powerful. And then having fun and painting, like my personal favorite, art therapy, is a wonderful way to program your brain for the good stuff. Painting is definitely changed my life. I've talked about this many times, and you can see some of my painting in my on my social media, Fit Amy TV. I think I actually have one of my Instagram, what do they call those things? The chapter things that is the art that I do. The name's escaping me at the moment. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, the highlights. Thank you. Highlights on Instagram. I have art, and this is some of my art on there. Okay. Spending time in nature without technology, and preferably with animals and bugs and birds and trees and all that, is probably the Mac Daddy of all the ways to program yourself for positivity and receptivity and de-stressing. It's probably the grand poobah, if you will, is time in nature, time with animals, also time with children, as long as they're not driving you crazy. But really, they can teach us so much about what's important in life and how to embody your feelings, right? Animals and children are the ultimate in that. They have no filter. That can be bad, but that can be really good if you are somebody that is too filtered, right? Too much controlling what you're putting out and what you're taking in. Embody yourself. Feel your feelings. Be it, do it, say it, emote it. Watch how much better you feel and look when you do. Okay, so basically anything that feeds your soul and fills your mind with positive ideas, concepts, and inspiration is what we are talking about here with healthy mindset and how to program your brain for a healthy lifestyle. I hope these and any ideas that you have can help you. I really hope that this episode helps you. I would love to know what you do, so feel free, of course, to add your favorites. And then give yourself the gift of prioritizing these things. It's one thing to be aware of them and be like, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that sounds great. But you must prioritize them in your schedule, and don't make excuses why you don't have time for it or any of that stuff, because Jesus, what's life about? Right? We have to make time for the good stuff. Otherwise, what's the point? Okay? So think of them as emotional vitamins. These are emotional vitamins for you to program your brain with healthy nutrition, which is your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitudes, your expectations. Okay? These are the emotional vitamins that keep your brain and your spirit alive and thriving. Or not, okay? Remember, it comes with awareness and then choice. Being aware of what you are thinking and believing and feeling, and then choosing the beliefs, feelings, and thoughts that serve you, that are productive, that are moving you in the direction that you want to go, because it is a choice. People can take away everything in your world, but they can't take away your ability to think for yourself. Unless they're programming you, which then again, you want to be aware of. Is this my own thought, or is this a thought from somebody else? Okay? That's step one of getting your sovereignty back, by the way. So a fit, healthy body cannot be sustained in an unfit, unhealthy mind. I'm going to repeat that. A fit, healthy body cannot be sustained in an unfit, unhealthy mind. It defies natural law. So please don't overlook the importance of this Foundations in Fitness tip number 9, which is mindset and the importance of self-talk, because it is a very important one that unfortunately a lot of people don't consider when they think of living a healthy and fit lifestyle. They think about nutrition and exercise, but they overlook this one, and let's see how fit they stay for a lifetime with overlooking this one. Okay, I don't care what your body looks like. If your mind doesn't work right and your spirit and heart aren't in the right place for you, you're never going to be what I call healthy and fit holistically, right? We all know great looking people with amazing bodies that are annoying as hell, or they're no fun to be around, or they're just negative people, or whatever. I mean, fill in the blank, right? I mean, the body is a shell. It is an expression of our thinking and our feeling and our living, but there's a lot more to it, the whole person, than just that. That's for sure. All right, my friend, thank you so much for joining me in this tip. We have one more to go, tip number 10, and then we are closing this series. And if you haven't heard the 8 previous ones, please go back and listen to them. I'll tell you real quick. Foundations in Fitness tip number 1 is episode 4. Tip number 2 is episode 6. Tip number 3 is episode 12. Tip number 4 is episode 15. Tip 5, episode 20. Tip 6, episode 30. Tip 7, which actually is one of our most popular ones, which was on circadian rhythms, light, electromagnetic frequencies, and nature. That's Foundations of Fitness tip number 7. That was episode 37. Exercise was episode 44. And here we are, episode 53, which is Foundations Fitness tip number 9 on mindset and self-talk. One more to go. I can't wait to give it to you. Then I'm going to have to make up a new series. If you have any suggestions or things that you want to hear about on this show, as always, I want to know. I am here to be valuable for you, valuable for the world, and share what I've learned in my 30 years of experience in this industry, and always learning new stuff. And you guys teach me too. We're in this together. So please let me know what you want me to talk about. Thank you for leaving a review, and I already can't wait to be with you again. Would you like to support my mission to help empower people all over the world to be all of who they truly are? If so, please subscribe to the show. Leave a review on iTunes and share it with a friend. And if you're looking to take immediate action to align your energy and optimize your health, visit amyfournier.com. Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite. Let's awaken her together in you. I'm your hostess, Amy Fournier, and I already can't wait to be with you again and for you to hear what I have planned for the next show.
Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite with Amy Fournier. To learn more about Amy, check out her website, amyfournier.com. That's amyfournier.com. You can also check out Amy's live and on-demand virtual fitness and yoga classes, and sign up for her newsletter to receive a free mini ebook of 3 of her top tips for making holistic health a lifestyle. Again, that's amyfournier.com. and get your ebook sent to your email immediately. Connect with Amy on the daily on Instagram at FitAmyTV, FITAMYTV, and watch many of the podcast episodes and subtopic clips on her YouTube channel, which is also FitAmyTV. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time on Awakening Aphrodite.